and you and your wife were sitting across from me, and it was kind of like everything else kind of goes quiet because you got this fascinating story, and so does she, and you guys are so engaging and so present. And I was like, oh man, I just need more time with this guy. And so, what is easier than that than just, have a podcast and then have the conversation with the whole world? Like, that's what we do in 2026. We have intimate conversations with our friends and then broadcast it to the world.
No, it was a special meeting for sure. I think it was definitely in God's timing of how we connected. And I mean, it's obviously turned into a friendship and multiple conversations later, which has obviously led us to this podcast. But no, it was funny. I mean, because obviously we were at this event where there's, several hundred people and, you typically pull, a few people away from that you stay connected with, even if that, right. And you were one of those individuals, and it was just the timing of, we didn't see each other the whole their event besides at that specific lunch. And it was about 3 days long, I think.
Yeah.
So it was cool though. I agree with how that kind of came to fruition, and look at where it's taken us now.
There we are. There we are. Well, I would love to, before we jump into our first great question, which is, for those of us who've been on the pod before, the first question is always like, hey, if the 8-year-old version of Jason showed up next to you right now in 2026 and was like, oh my gosh, we're doing what? That's so exciting. What would they be most excited about? So before we get to that question, for people who are joining the podcast today who may not know the wonderful story of Jason, could you give us maybe a couple minute recap on you up till now? Because we love a good story and you've got a great one.
Yeah, man, of course. Well, thank you very much for having me here. I appreciate it. First and foremost, I am a father and a husband. I have a beautiful wife. I have 3 beautiful children. My younger self spent a lot of time in the entertainment industry. Was on several different TV shows. Through that time, I went through a very public battle with addiction. Ended up finding myself in several different treatment centers over the course of time, got into some trouble with the law. But ultimately, God has a funny way of, allowing you to utilize your greatest deficits and have them become your greatest assets. Because after my time in the entertainment industry, I ended up finding recovery. And it was an opportunity for me to be able to be a beacon of hope for those that are lost. And so it's been incredible to take my journey and everything that I went through, the trials and tribulations, and be able to share that and how my life is transformed